yesterday. Remember I kind of showed you this book right here. What kind of book was this? Alma Jen? It was a non-fiction book. So today, because remember we're working up towards our big project at the end of the week next week. So what we're going to talk about today is something completely different, but we kind of talked about it this morning. You'll have to remember. Kim, listening. Remember, I'm going to remind you because this is a really important part of reading that you might not even realize that you do. So we're going to talk about it today, and it's called, well, first I want to ask you a question. Who here likes watching movies? Can I see a show of hands? Does anybody not like watching movies? I wouldn't think anybody doesn't like watching movies. I love watching movies. Here, just a raise of hands. I'm going to call one person. What's their favorite movie in the world to watch? What's your favorite movie? Emerson? What are you? High School Musical is so good. Animal Crossing, those are great. So yeah, we all love watching movies. And so today what we're going to talk about, it has to do with reading books. Guys, everybody listen, this is really important information. Josue, eyes on me. What we're going to talk about is something called visualizing. Has anybody ever heard the word visualizing? Has anyone ever told you to visualize something? Show of hands if you've heard that before. It's kind of a big word, so you might not have heard it before. But visualizing means when you create a picture in your mind using the words that you read. So Emerson, do you remember today when we were reading Charlotte's Web and you said that you didn't need pictures because some people were saying they wanted pictures in their book? But you said, I don't need pictures because I can see it in my brain. Do you remember when you said that? And I was so glad she said that because that is a perfect example of what visualizing is. Visualizing is when you read a book and you might not see pictures, you might just hear someone else read it, and you can picture the story in your head just by the words. And so it's like a movie, making a movie in your mind. So some reasons why we visualize is because it helps readers get excited to read more. You know when you read a story and your mind just gets so excited because you love what you're reading? Jaden, have you been reading? You said you were reading Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have any pictures, right?
Yeah, and I see like
You see it?
in my brain.
Yeah.
I read Harry Potter before.
Yeah, he's reading a real big book that doesn't have any pictures at all, but he loves it because he's visualizing all the magic in his brain. So it gets you excited to read more because your brain just sees all these awesome pictures. And it helps you understand the text a little bit better when you're reading if you're really good at visualizing.
And you get to make up the colors.
Yes, and it's kind of fun when you get older, when a lot of the books when you get older don't have pictures. You get to pretend and make up, like let's say the book doesn't really say what the characters look like. You get to make up what they look like. You get to make up what everything looks like because you're the director of the movie in your head. Wallace says, wait, eyes on me. Do you need Kira? Kira, go up there. All right. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. All right. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to practice visualizing. So I'm going to explain this to you before we go back to our seats because I want it to make sure it doesn't get a little crazy in here. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be reading something to you, okay? I'm going to be reading something to you. You're not going to see any pictures. You're not going to see anything. All you're going to do is hear my voice, okay? And then after we're done, I'll explain this to you again when we finish. But you're going to go to your seat. I'm going to give you a sticky note, a little Post-it note. And you're going to write, or you're not going to write, you're going to draw. So there's no writing, just drawing. You're going to draw what you visualized when I read it to you, okay? We're going to do that for a few minutes. And then when you're done, you get to put your Post-it note on our visualization cloud. And this says, good readers create mental images and sensory images as they read. So again, I'm not going to show you any pictures of what we're reading. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. I'm just going to start reading it. And whatever picture you see in your brain, you're going to draw it, and you're going to stick it on here, okay? So, in order for us to be the best visualizers, I know sometimes the classroom gets distracting, people move around, people walk in, and you might have to go to the bathroom. So we're going to close our eyes the whole time I'm reading so that all you can see is inside your brain. I don't want anyone to keep their eyes open. I just want you to close your eyes and listen to me, okay? Really listen to the words I'm saying because you're going to have to draw what you visualized, okay? And you might visualize different things. You can just draw one of those things that you visualized. Okay, ready? Nylan, close your eyes. Everybody, just close your eyes. It had been a long, cold winter. When spring came, Ben was so excited to go outside. He went for a walk in the green woods with his mom. He smelled the fresh, clean air. He saw lots of little critters like baby bunnies and deer and beautiful, beautiful butterflies. Then Ben saw some flowers. There were lots of roses. They were red and tall, and they smelled amazing. Ben loved his walk in the woods. Okay, so that's our story. Raise your hand if you need me to read it one more time. One more time? Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. Keep those eyes closed. Really visualize. It had been a long, cold winter. When spring came, Ben was so excited to go outside. He went for a walk in the green woods with his mom. He smelled the fresh, clean air. He saw lots of little critters like baby bunnies and deer and beautiful, beautiful butterflies. Then Ben saw some flowers. There were lots of roses. They were red and tall and smelled amazing. Ben loved his walk in the woods. So now I hope, raise your hand, don't say anything, but raise your hand if you saw some visuals while I read that. Did you see some things in your brain?
No.
Maybe some pictures, some flowers, some of the critters?
Nylan wasn't.
Nope, no talking, we don't need to talk about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give everybody a sticky note, okay? You're going to go to your desk and you're just going to draw one of the things you saw. You don't have to draw everything. You're just going to draw one of the things you visualized, and then you're going to put it on our visualization chart, and I'll move that over here. So I'm going to give everybody a sticky note. When you get it, just go to your seat and start drawing. You don't have to write anything. This is one time you do not have to write a thing. Just draw what you saw.
When the lights are on, it is yellow here. My
All right, and I'm going to put a timer up for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back to the carpet, okay? Oh, will you give it back to me?
My brain didn't even think about that. I didn't. I fell asleep and handed off. I saw my carrot pie. Yes.
Remember, we're still playing our quad game, so I want everybody, when you're visualizing, you probably aren't talking because you're thinking really deep in your brain about what pictures you saw. I'm going to put a few minutes on the screen so we know that our timer's going to be up, and then we're going to come back to the carpet. And when you're done with your visualization, you kind of stick it up on the cloud. And I'm going to come over and kind of talk to you about what you visualized, okay? Amadine, what did you see?
I saw lots and lots of roses coming up out of the ground.
What about you, Judy?
I saw a bunch of like trees
That's what I saw.
that had a bunch of flowers on them and
I was, no, I was imagining like a really thick forest. Were you seeing that kind of?
yeah.
Let's see what everyone else saw.
The tree kind of looks like blue.
What did you see? A deer. I saw a deer. What did you see?
I saw trees and 2 deer behind them. And then there was a lot in between the trees with the family of bunnies inside.
You already put yours up. What did you put up?
A bunny.
A bunny. I saw lots of bunnies in my mind too. What did you see? deer? Mm-hmm. What did you see? There was lots of them in my brain. Lots. And also, sometimes when you read something, your brain might visualize something that wasn't in the story. It might help you make a connection somewhere. So let's say that reminded you of your grandma's house that has lots of flowers. You could, that's where your mind goes different places.
This is your grandma.
Yeah,
Mine was mine illusions and anything else.
So when Brody listened to the story, he didn't think about the flowers or the trees. His brain went somewhere else.
With mine illusions and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the real life world, looked like a nuclear explosion just happened. What did I do?
We have only a few minutes left. We have about 1 minute and 30 seconds left. You just go sit on my carpet and we're about to start in about 1 minute, okay? If you want, you can look at what other people visualize. You can take a look.
Look at mine. Oh, God. 3 more minutes?
You saw dinosaurs? That's cool. I didn't even talk about dinosaurs. A little turtle. If you get to the carpet a little early, why don't you tell your neighbor what you visualized and see if it's the same or if it's different? We got 20 seconds left, so if you're still at your table, we're about 20 seconds, so we're gonna come back. Hi, friends, class time. All right, so hopefully everyone had a chance to draw. Whoa.
Not me.
Uh-oh.
Because I didn't I didn't do
All right. Love it. All right. Everyone come back to the carpet, okay?
I'm not
Pass, pass. Alma, June, Isabella, and Henry. It's okay. Don't worry about where it is. It's totally fine wherever it is. We're gonna come back to the carpet. Everybody take a deep breath. Kim, just stick it anywhere on that sheet of paper. It doesn't have to fit in the cloud. All right. Raise your hand if you're ready to listen. All right, perfect. So yesterday I kind of talked a little bit about this book called Animals and Plants. It's a nonfiction book, meaning that it's a true story. And even though this isn't a story, it's more about facts and information, you still can visualize a nonfiction text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to read most of it. Let me see how much time I have before recess. Yeah, I'm going to read most of it. And I'm not going to show you any of the pictures in the book. And it's a picture book, and I know that's probably so sad for you, because I know you want to see the pictures, but that's what you're going to do with your brain. We're going to do the same thing we just did. I want you to visualize as much as you can. So that means you really have to listen, because then we're going to do an activity after, okay? So I'm going to read you about some of these animals and plants, but I'm not going to show you any of the pictures. It's just for me to see, okay? So if it helps you to close your eyes again, I need everybody to be quiet. Just close your eyes and listen to the words and see what images go right into your brain, okay? Animals live in different places, and their body parts help them. Polar bears can live in very cold places. They have fur, and their fur keeps them warm. There are also animals that help each other. Shrimp do not see very well, but they can feel with their antennae. The shrimp feel the tails of the fish, and the fish feed the shrimp. Animals use their body parts to get food. Some birds use beaks to eat. Some bird beaks can tear meat. Some bird beaks can open seeds and nuts. Animal teeth can break nuts too. Bears catch fish to eat. They use their claws and their teeth. Zebras eat grass. Their flat teeth help them bite and chew. Animals have different ways to stay safe. The colors and shapes of animals can protect them. Camouflage is a color or shape that makes animals hard to see. There's a picture, but it says this insect is hard to see. So I want you to imagine what insect I'm talking about. This insect is hard to see. It looks like a plant stem with a leaf. Ooh, so what are you imagining? Camouflage helps it hide from other animals. Camouflage also helps it get food. Remember, we're still being quiet. Close our eyes. There's a big snake that hides under the water. Its nose and eyes are on top of the water. It waits for animals to come near the water. Then it pulls them in. The animals are its food. A rabbit can tell other animals that there's danger. It hits the back of its foot on the ground. A prairie dog can tell the other prairie dogs that there's danger too, and it makes a loud bark. Plants are living things too, and they have parts that help them live. The roots take the water for the plant. The flower makes many seeds. The stem takes water from the roots up to the rest of the plant, and the leaf makes food for the plant. Plants live in different places. They need light from the sun to grow. Plants can live in a dark rainforest, and the big leaves can take in lots of light for the plants. Plants need water to grow. There's plants that live in the desert. The desert doesn't have much water, but the little leaves help keep water inside the plant. Plants have many ways to stay safe. Some plants have spines and thorns. Spines and thorns can hurt animals. Animals do not want to eat these plants. Other plants have a bad taste or smell, and that keeps animals away too. Some plants use camouflage, like animals do. Some plants look like the ground. They are hard to find. They stay safe. Now you know a lot of parts of animals and plants. What are the parts that keep them safe, and what are the parts that help them get food? Okay, so I read to you about a bunch of different animals and plants, and I didn't show you any of them, but hopefully the descriptions of what they do and what they eat and all the different things helped you visualize some different things. And I'm sure since I read so many different things that everybody's picturing something different in their head. So what we're going to do, where did it go? Oh, it's on the desk, is I'm going to give you, yes, Emerson? Yeah, I was kind of picturing that too, maybe like a grasshopper or like a little, have you ever seen like a praying mantis, something like that? That's kind of what I was picturing.
Why like the camouflage like insect? I thought you were talking about a walking stick.
Well, I didn't show you what it was, so all of you could have pictured something different, which is the total point of this list. I want everybody, yeah. So what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you this sheet of paper, and it looks like sunglasses, because when we visualize, we're looking through our eyes, right? And what you're going to do is inside the sunglasses, I want you to draw what you saw. And you can draw one big one, or you can draw two different things you saw. So maybe you want to draw the bug or a plant or whatever you visualized while you were listening to me read. You can draw anything you saw. And then I want you to just underneath kind of just write what you saw. So if you drew a plant, you can write, I saw a beautiful red plant. Or I saw a plant with thorns on it.
Or I saw
What-
the world.
Whatever you visualize, I just want you to draw it and then write it out. And then we'll talk about it in a little bit. Does anybody have any questions about what we're doing? Did everybody see some visuals when I was reading? Yeah? Awesome. All right, so and we only have about 5 or so minutes before recess, so when we come back from recess, we'll finish it, so don't worry about it if you don't get it done in the next few minutes, okay? I'm gonna take this off really quick, so I can put